Welcome to the Voiceover Gurus podcast.
No sugarcoating, no ego. Just real talk about the voiceover business.
We learn, we laugh, we lift each other up.
Because pretending it's easy helps no one.
The gurus don't promise fame, but they do promise truth.
It's not always glamorous, but it's always real.
It's the Voiceover Gurus podcast.
Are you set? Looking all pretty?
I'm set. I'm set.
Welcome back to the Voiceover Gurus podcast. Yes, as promised, I finally came back and decided to do some work and bring you a new podcast. This time a little more directed and pointed because we're going to cover a topic each time. Today, acting coach, acting guru with our group is Alyssa Jayson. Hello.
Hello. Hey, Linda. Hey, everybody who's listening.
What's interesting, and we were just talking about this before we started recording, is that what you do is so foundational to voice acting, and people don't really realize that, I don't think.
That has been my experience. That has been my experience, especially when people are just coming to it. Mm-hmm. Where they're not coming from some other place in a creative environment or some sort of creative career, where they kind of have been exposed to it. When someone's coming in from specifically, well, yeah, my brother told me I had a really good voice.
Yeah, I know.
Which is a great way to come in, but that's a popular way. Or I was working at a company and I would do these little recordings for my job. Yeah. And I just find that specific person wasn't exposed enough to the complexity of what voiceover is to know where the acting piece fits in.
So do you think that the acting piece missing and not learning those foundational basics of being an actor is what helps people book or not?
I really do. Yeah. I think it is so foundational. I think it's the difference. I say it in our workouts all the time. A good read can be produced in the brain by knowing cadence, timing, pacing, tone, characters. Yeah, you can produce a good read. However, the great read, the one that we remember, the one that excites us still to be voiceover artists and actors, you're never going to get that one from your brain. It doesn't live there.
That's interesting. So why do you think, let's talk about authenticity. Sometimes I get tired of saying the word because we say it all the time. Why do you think authenticity is so prevalent now? What are your thoughts on that?
I think it's twofold. I think that there's authenticity in the direct application to voiceover work, meaning we no longer, as consumers, like to be sold to. Mm-hmm. And we like to feel true connection and community when we're learning about products or services or a company. We don't want to just be told, hey, we think this is great, so buy it.
Right.
We want to know the who, what, where, when, why inside of that. And that's part of authenticity, is answering all those 5 questions. That's part of authenticity. That's whatever lens you look at authenticity through. We could be talking psychology right now. It's the same lens.
Right.
And then in 2026, because wow, we're in 2026, there's authenticity on everybody's mind because we're competing with, an artificial intelligence that doesn't have authenticity. So it's the bit of our humanity that really makes all the difference between us and these voices that are so easy to buy and so cheap, but really can't be human, can't be authentic. Everything about it is inauthentic.
Right, exactly. And I know that's what I tell students as well, is that we have to focus on how we can grow as actors and get away from just the thinking of the technical aspects of voiceover when you go in to do something. Because if you don't, we were talking about last night, we had a really good workout last night about the trends from 2025. And we were talking about something that I continually seem to be bringing up in the groups. It was in the masterclass accountability last week about vulnerability. And that if you're not able to be vulnerable, and it's so hard to get there because we have these walls up, we block, we'll let you come to a certain spot, but we're not going to let you come further. So to be able to get to that, because it's like the reads that we were listening to last night are like the award-winning reads, national reads.
Right.
It's heart and soul in those.
Mm-hmm.
It's not talking.
Yeah.
You know. So getting to that point, though, of authenticity and vulnerability, because I would love to focus on that in a workout sometime. What do you think we could do to test vulnerability or try to dig it out? What would you do in a traditional acting class? Let's go.
I
from
mean,
that
and
direction.
it's the work. I mean, I'll be heading to my traditional acting class tonight. And that's exactly the work that we're still doing, right? And it's 30 something years later on a journey for me. And it's the work that we're still doing. But how does that work happen? It's really comes from like, you build your technique, you have this toolbox, and you build it so that you can let it go.
That seems so like opposite.
It seems so opposite, but it's the truth. It's like, how do you actually, okay, so say I'm working in a scene, right? Here's the inauthentic option and the authentic option. The inauthentic performance comes when the actor does all the work. They come, they do all their copy work, they write on it, they develop a sound, how they think their scene should sound, and how their character should speak. And they rehearse it, and they rehearse it, and they rehearse it. And when they come to present that scene, and their acting partner is being really authentic to the moment, you notice the inauthenticity because that other person doesn't change. They do it the same way. They've rehearsed it and rehearsed it and rehearsed it, and their inflection happens at the same point, and they stand back and breathe at the same point. And it's not this living, breathing, connected, responsive act of listening that is being authentic, being human. And it's the same thing with voiceover work. I know when an actor is stuck in whatever concept they have in their head of how this should be read. Because no matter what notes I give, no matter what I'm pointing out, questions that I'm asking, I get the same read back.
They've made a choice.
And they're not open.
Moving.
They're not vulnerable to, listening, being present. So it's always the same indicator, whether we're talking about acting or voiceover acting. The indicator is it's inorganic. It's not flexible. It doesn't flow. It doesn't move. It doesn't change. And sometimes can it be with amazing technique? And you're like, wow, this person has the best voice. And of course it can be. But it's like there's always it's like a great performance. A performance is something that's basically two-dimensional. And a three-dimensional read and a two-dimensional read feel entirely different.
Yeah, expand on that, because I'm having trouble understanding. Can you give an example or something?
An example.
Can you draw a picture? I like pictures.
I can draw a picture. No, like if I came into this, here we go. I'm just going to use you right now in the moment. I've been thinking all day about how I'm going to say this, and it goes something like this. Hi, Linda. How are you today?
I'm great. How are you?
Fantastic.
What's going on in your life?
Everything's so great. It's a sunny day. I've thought cheery, warm, exciting, sunshine, seeing my best friend.
So you haven't changed at all based on the context of what you're talking about.
And now I'm going to come in present.
Okay.
Connected to Linda.
Same dialogue.
One of my best friends. Same dialogue. I'm actually going to take the first moment to look at you and say, hey, Linda.
Hey.
How you doing?
Pretty good doing a podcast.
Yeah, totally. How's your day so far?
So far, it's great. Just had lunch.
It's good. Mine's been pretty good too.
Yeah.
I mean, it's been a garden variety, but it's been pretty good.
Right. So you have the shifts, the changes, the nuances that come from conversation.
And I didn't have to think about my voice and the tone.
Getting out of the head, though. So is that 3D then? The 3D you're
That's
referring to?
three-dimensional.
Okay.
The two-dimensional is if I presented you the copy and the tone. Warm, inviting. Well, why are you warm? Why are you inviting? It's missing the why and it's missing the how. It's just giving you the what. The read is just giving you the what.
Okay. That makes sense now.
Right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So that's like the two-dimensional version. The three-dimensional version contains why are you warm? How are you conveying that? How are you making if it's an audience, if it's a client you're trying to sell something to, how are you making them feel warm?
Interesting. Yeah.
Not just sounding warm.
So that's work.
Yeah,
figuring that out.
It is.
With every script. It's not like doing a show, a production where you're playing one character and you have time to study and to create everything. It's like we're instant, jack of all trades.
And also what I think what sometimes we forget is that there's so much, I know for me as a voiceover actor and probably my success in reading copy is that you start to understand words. Like there's so much in the word that you don't have to give anything more to it. Let the copy work for you so that you connect to it. It's not your job to sell us the copy. The copy's already been written. They wrote it. They signed off on it. Those are the words they want said. So like the copy's done its work. It's our work to come to the copy.
Right. Well, like I say, you need to understand what it is you're reading. And a lot of people don't. They just read. I'm like, understand it. If you understand the script, you understand the topic, whatever it is, then you'll naturally talk about it. But it's doing a little bit more prep work with auditions.
Definitely.
Now, I find it interesting because you've been doing this for 30 years.
In some capacity, all sides of it.
All sides of it. So you started acting 30 years ago.
Actually, more than that.
But yet...
That means I'd have to get into my age and now... Whoa!
My whole point is that you are still going back to continue learning.
Because it's not about the knowledge. It's about the process. It's weird. Like, as voiceover actors, as an actor, as an artist, we are living, breathing vessels. Mm-hmm. And it's like, I don't stop going to the gym.
Sometimes
I mean, yeah, and I know. But like, if I want to maintain, you have to continue. Because when you go away from it, I did have times in my life where I wasn't in training, as an actor, because those are like the saddest times in my life. But when you come back to it, the amount of vulnerability that disappears so quickly, because you're not being open, you're not pushing, you're not in it. You know how important listening is to this work?
Gosh, yes.
Listening, right? So it's like these trainings of these foundational things are what keep you malleable, keep you open, keep you able to connect.
Right.
Otherwise, you really, it's like we become dogs. Like we find a trick that works, and then that's the one we
Just
do.
keep doing the trick. Yeah.
That's the one we do.
Right.
And yeah, you're really lucky if that trick lands you, it lands you the gig of a lifetime, and all you ever have to be for the rest of your voiceover career is that one trick.
Yeah.
But that's really not the reality of this industry.
Right. And even those folks get bored too.
Yeah.
Because there's no change. And it's the same style of read for everything. Because we know people that have been doing this stuff forever and saying the same freaking thing. So, I mean, I feel like I wish people would understand that they have to move beyond the technicalities of voiceover. And they have to go to the foundations of it. They have to start with the foundations, or wherever you're at in your journey. Go to the foundations, learn the basics. I tell people that come in here, I go take an acting class, take an improv class, then build on that. Or if you're already working and maybe you're not booking, take an acting class. And that takes you out of the voiceover realm and focuses on the base.
Yeah, and I think, we all kind of get, our lens gets kind of more smaller and smaller. So we're kind of focusing on the VO community, right? Not realizing, and I say this to my students all the time, my friends in all the communities I walk in, I have so many friends that are actors, primarily actors, on Broadway, on TV, on film. You've seen their face, you know the shows they've been in, you know the movies they've been, yet they're doing voiceover work every day. Booking and booking like mad. They can't believe it. They tell me, I'm walking around with my iPhone everywhere just recording auditions. Because why wouldn't they? So with not having that perspective and just thinking you're just in this bubble of people who are training their voice, no, you're actually with people who are in a movie right now who just happen to get a narration project. You're in the same pool.
And coming from that acting background, the continual experiences, the training, all of that allows them to find the vulnerability quicker and connect with the copy.
Not only that, they're in, and I know you would recommend this to VO artists, and we talk about this all the time in our community. You've got people who are training dance 3 times a week, so they're connected to their bodies.
Yep.
They're connected to their physical vessels. They understand how that affects the voice. We have people who are training they're training their singing voice all the time, which is in fact helping their breathing and their ability to sustain their copy and all of those things. So it's like opening up the mindset beyond warm, inviting read for commercials. It's like we have to open that lens to get to the vulnerability of what this work really is.
So maybe treating the script not like whatever it is. Maybe treat it a different way, as a more generic thing. I'm just thinking out loud.
Well, you notice whenever I do my workouts, and it's the same when you work with me one-on-one, I never give you tone.
Right.
I never give you character description. I do that really, really purposely.
Yeah, you let the student decide after they review the scripts.
Correct.
What it is what choice they're going to make.
And then coaching is based on their choice.
Mm-hmm.
And based on the choice that they're making, not based on just directing. I think giving direction is one thing, coaching is another.
This is such a process for all of us. It's a continuing learning process. We were just talking about dancers and singers, and the fact that I did in my early days, shows and sang. And because of all the practice, wow, my voice is great on stage. I Now it's embarrassing. It's like embarrassing. I cannot sing. And it's always like, you know what? I used to be a singer, but I don't work this area for that anymore. Yeah. And I've lost it to a degree. I would have to jump back in.
And it's there.
Yeah.
I mean, it's there.
Yeah.
But you'd have to go find it again, But it's really important. It's so important. And the more you open yourself up to it and kind of throw yourself into it and allow yourself to get out of that brain space with this work and into like showing up like almost kind of neutral, right? It's like where the muscles get developed, so that you're listening more. You start to just develop a more complete picture of humans. So it doesn't matter what we're talking about. Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what kind of spot it is. It doesn't matter at all. Of course, we know there are certain techniques to be applied to everybody, but that applies to anything. Like there's certain ways to paint a wood grain.
Right.
But fundamentally, I need to know how to paint.
Right. Yeah.
Right? It doesn't help if all I can just paint is the wood grain.
True. Last night in that workout, Kevin had played actually it was an actress who did a progressive spot that's being nominated for an award. And he's actually friends with her. And he said, could you do me a favor and give me like a 10-minute clip and tell me how you got into the character? And it was cool to listen to her perspective. But the one thing that stood out for me is she said, they allowed me to feel the script. And I was like, there it is. There it is. Allow yourself to feel.
Yeah.
To truly feel for that authenticity. So did we answer the question? Yeah. Why does authenticity still book? Because AIs come in. There's just so many reasons why. And also, when you feel, the person listening feels. And people really are just more responsive to emotion in making decisions. Right.
Unless we're really, but even price has an emotion.
What do you mean?
You would
when
say
somebody sees a price.
Sees when somebody hears, like say it's a classic, okay, this spot that we're doing, the whole entire purpose is to have the listener understand the value proposition in price alone. So $5.99, $5.99, $5.99. One of those spots, right? Even that elicits an emotion to somebody who hears it. It's not just about the $5.99. It's about the feeling of saving.
Mm-hmm. Connecting with that person too, because that's what gets them going.
That's what gets us to buy things. That's what gets us to listen. Is the feeling.
So this next workout that we're going to do, hopefully we'll do it next week. It's tactics over tone.
Yeah.
To not. It's kind of along lines, I guess, what we're talking about here. When your objective is clear, the tone happens automatically.
Naturally, exactly. But there's more. It's adding the why and the how, not just the what. Happy. Okay, why? How do you feel happy?
I don't know.
I have at least 12 versions of happy me.
Yeah.
Right? There's a joyous happy me, there's a giddy happy me, there's a nervous happy me. So just what? Happy? Okay. Why? How?
Happy around different people.
Different
versions.
happies.
Yes, different happies.
Yeah. And so just having a happy voice, okay?
Yeah, isn't enough.
So it's taking that's what I want to build on in the next workout is just to get it over that tone thought. We get so locked up in tone,
right?
As how it should sound. This is okay. Why?
Yeah.
How does it feel?
Wiping it away and saying, look at the meat of this.
Look at the meat.
Look at the meat of the
And
script.
what that does and how it changes it is just, I love when our students feel the shift in this kind of work, because it's not something you just hear. It's something that you feel first. Because for like 2 seconds, you're not thinking about how you sound. You just sounded. Yeah, you just sounded.
And it sounds so easy, but it's not.
At all.
And it takes a lot of work and a lot
So
of
much.
practice.
So much. And a lot of frustration and a lot of commitment. But it's the difference between good and great. It's in your authenticity, in your vulnerability, and that adding that third dimension to our work.
I'm telling you, I want to do a workout about authenticity.
All right, I'm down.
I mentioned it last night, and Kevin's like, I would love to be a student. And he said, but then again, I don't know if I could hack it. He's like, it'd be great for you and Alyssa. And I'm like, but that's the thing. If you're worried about you can't hack it, maybe you should come, challenge yourself.
Yeah.
And let's get down to the nitty gritty.
Yeah.
Show us who you really are.
Exactly.
You know? Thank you for joining me on my first full episode of the Voiceover Gurus podcast.
This is lovely.
Yeah, we're doing Riverside. So I like the layout, right? You like it?
I do like the layout. I like the format.
It's cool. So yeah, everything's going to be topic based. And I think that's a fun way to go. We'll see if people like it. If they don't, we'll change it. But yeah, you've heard about our community, I'm sure, because Sandy does a post probably every other day. And out in social media where I'm like, okay, Sandy, we can stop on the post of the community. Free community, guys. You can join us. You can participate in the weekly script read challenge. You know, this is not going to cost you a penny, but this is also a good doorway for you to see what we do and our relationships, actually, with our students, which I feel is what makes us different, because our focus is on the long-term game. It's not on instant. So we're not the people that you want to come to if you need a demo like ASAP. You know, we're the ones that are going to be by your side and give you advice and help you for the long run, because this is a very difficult path to go.
Yeah.
But yeah, just head to the website, voiceover.guru, and go to our community. And Alyssa's in the community and doing stuff, and it's good stuff. Thank you so much.
Thank you, everybody.
That wraps up another episode as I cough, and we'll see you again really, really soon. Thank you for listening and watching.